What's going on, everybody? This is Lewis from Scrub to Scratch, and this is our first playthrough. Here on hole number 2, teeing off with the driver, big slice into the woods, looking like a scrub. I did not record hole number 1 because there were a few people behind me and didn't want to hold them up, but they ended up playing pretty slow. So on this second shot, I go ahead and just punch it through the gap in the trees and give myself a nice little chip in here to save par. Ended up hitting a really good chip about 3 feet from the hole. As you can see, just lands above it and rolls just a little bit past the hole. It was a great chip, ended up getting really close to the hole itself. Went ahead and just put it in for par, which was a great start for me, considering I tripled hole 1. Here's hole number 3. I missed the tee shot, pulled it left of the green, but had a great chip in, landed about 1.5 feet from the hole, which left me a very simple tap in for par, and that's 2 pars back to back, which is really honestly unheard of in my game. Here I am teeing off. This is one of my least favorite holes. I usually slice it into the other fairway, but this time topped it about 100 yards up, which left me a actually decent lie with my 3-wood, but unfortunately I top it again. Went ahead and took my first mulligan of the day and go ahead and try to strike it one more time with this 3-wood, hopefully to get something down the center of the fairway, but unfortunately ended up with a little fade here into the other fairway. Now, I didn't bring my camera behind because I was a little bit worried about people waiting on me in this fairway, so I went ahead and I bladed this one. Unfortunately, did not mean to blade it, but ended up being an excellent shot right here on the edge of the green.
Not bad.
And went ahead and just had a nice little chip here. I was aiming just past the sand, this really rough area in the green, but man, absolutely terrible hit. Went ahead and dropped the ball just to get another feel for this because I was not satisfied with that. And that was really what I was aiming for the first time. Went ahead and picked up that second shot that I was going to play and went back to my initial shot. Putted quite poorly on this hole. Ended up short, and on this second putt, I just pulled it a little bit to the left, which was my first 3-putt of the day. Moving on to another hole that I do not like very much. Ended up opting for my 5-iron here and had a really good tee shot. Left me right in the center of the fairway, and I tried to punch it under these trees, but just got a little bit too much loft on it, but still ended up in a good lie for a nice approach here on the green to save par. Just here on the fringe, actually I missed catching the shot before this, but this little chip in here would be shot number 4, and this putt would be shot number 5. Ended up being just a little short here and got a bogey. On to the next hole, which was a par 3. I was a little short here and landed in the sand. As you can see, it just kicked up right there. But it was raining a little bit, so I left my camera on the cart, and I had a great sand shot right here and gave myself a nice opportunity to save a par, but ended up 2-putting for bogey, which all in all is not a terrible score for that hole, landing in the sand. Another hole that I do not like, this is a dog leg left. Ended up going with a 6-iron here. Kind of had a little bit of a fade. Brought my 3-iron out and just totally mishit it. I was lined up to the left trying to accommodate for my slice, but ended up here just outside of the cart path, pitched it on up with a decent approach. Here I brought out my 54 degree and actually ended up going over the green and gave myself a opportunity to chip here. Ended up doing a decent job, just barely made it past that sand. And on this putt, I was just a tiny bit short and a tiny bit to the left. I gave myself a little tap in here at the end. Another slice. This was a tough day with the drive. Usually I am a little bit better than that, but Gave myself a 5-iron here, hit it about 180, just a little bit to the right of the green. I kind of had fade on that just a little bit and gave myself an opportunity to chip to the green, but came up just a touch short. Chipped on and just made it kind of in between those two sandy areas of the green and gave myself a nice opportunity, but I just pushed a little to the left and that was not what I meant to do. I'm gonna go ahead and just give me that tap in right there. So on to the next. On to hole number 9, I top this drive again. I pull out another shot, absolutely sliced that one. Did not even need to show you that on camera, but pulled out my 3-wood. I was kind of in this little drainage area and had a great shot here right down the center of the fairway and left me a very easy shot onto the green, but I pulled it to the left and landed in that sand pit just kind of behind my body. Now the first shot I hit in the sand trap earlier in the day was great, but this one was even better. I was about a foot, maybe a foot and a half away from the hole, which left me a nice easy putt in here and a nice little tap in here for a bogey, and that is hole number 9. And that does it for the first video here on the Scrub to Scratch golf channel, where it is my goal to go from your below average golf player to a scratch golfer. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date with all the latest content from this channel. I'm Lewis with Scrub to Scratch, and let's get better together.